Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct the anatomy of a modern heartbreak. We're piecing this story together from a collection of really raw, emotional Bengali poetry that honestly tells a story about love and loss that feels universal.
So the story just kicks off with this incredibly stark line. Right away, it sets the stage. This isn't just any love story. This is a love fighting against these massive, unassailable walls of class and society. It's not just about two people. It's about the two completely different worlds they come from.
And to really understand this journey, we're going to follow its emotional arc through 5 key stages. We'll start with its conflicted beginnings, then move to the intimacy they found, the betrayal that tore it apart, the dark aftermath, and finally, a really haunting conclusion about what's left when love is gone. Okay, so from the very beginning, this relationship is defined by this huge chasm between their two worlds. You get the sense that it's a gap that love, all on its own, might not be strong enough to bridge. I mean, look at this. This slide just maps out the insane contrast between their lives so clearly. On one side, you have this world of privilege, almost like magic realism. And on the other, a life that feels like a cruel game of fate. It's flower gardens versus crushed grass. It's expensive pets versus the real gnawing pain of hunger. And this line from the poetry, wow, it just hits you, right? It takes this abstract idea of class difference and makes it so personal, so tangible, you can almost feel it. It's not just about money, it's about the literal space they're allowed to take up in this world. But despite all of that external conflict, they actually managed to build a world that's just for them. It's this private, almost sacred space that's communicated not with words, but through the simple, pure sensation of touch. In these quiet, intimate moments, all that outside noise, the social status, the money, the family pressures, it all just seems to melt away. It gets replaced by this really profound physical and emotional connection that exists only between the two of them.
And this is what's so beautiful. It shows that their connection really goes beyond the material world. It's not just physical. It's described as a space where souls awaken. It's a bond happening on a totally different level, a plane of pure feeling, far away from the harsh realities waiting for them outside.
You see how deep it gets? Even the simplest, most everyday things become filled with meaning. The warmth of a cup of tea is directly connected to the warmth of a touch. It just shows you how completely their lives were intertwined, where the absence of one person can literally change the feeling of a daily ritual. But, as you might have guessed, that private world they built just couldn't last. The very foundation of their connection starts to crack, and it just crumbles under the weight of all those external pressures and, sadly, an internal decay that's just truly heartbreaking to witness.
Okay, this slide is just incredible. It shows the entire downfall of their love story through the evolution of how they speak to each other in Bengali. It starts with apni, which is formal, respectful. Then it blossoms into tumi, a word you use for an intimate partner, an equal. But then it sours. Beloved turns into necessity, like a business deal. And it ends with tui, a way of saying you that can be so dismissive, so full of contempt. The whole story is right there in those words.
And the narrator? They see right through it. They see this performance. They realize that genuine love is gone, and it's been replaced by something calculated, something selfish. And as the poet puts it, love just doesn't come back when it's driven by calculation. So what comes after a betrayal like that isn't just sadness. Oh no, it's a fall into something much, much darker. We're talking profound anger, a bitterness that eats you alive, in an anguish that feels like an actual curse. And that's really the big question here, isn't it? How does the person who was once the source of all your joy become the source of your greatest, most unbearable pain? The poetry dives into this transformation in some pretty chilling detail. The intensity here is just chilling. This is so far beyond simple anger. The pain is so deep, so absolute, that it just bypasses a normal curse and lands on something way more final. It's a complete erasure of feeling.
The narrator's pain then explodes into these incredibly powerful metaphors. Love isn't love anymore. It's a life sentence in prison. The narrator feels like they're in a state of living death. The heartbreak is so bad, it becomes this public warning to everyone else. And the heart, well, the heart isn't beating anymore. It's become a stone monument, just cold and lifeless.
And yet, even after all that fire from the betrayal and the ice from the anger,
something else is left behind. It's a quieter, more reflective, and honestly, maybe even a more profound kind of love that starts to emerge from all that wreckage.
This is the final and kinda unexpected stage of this whole journey. The narrator starts to redefine what it even means to love someone you can't be with anymore. It's a love that's not about owning someone or having a shared future, but one that is, well, unchained by the loss itself.
This line just explains it all so powerfully, doesn't it? It tells you exactly why that connection is still there. It was never just about physical possession, about being together. The bond was deeper, more spiritual. And because of that, you can't just erase it with a wedding or a new life. The love exists on its own, separate from the relationship.
And this is the final bittersweet acceptance. It's that incredibly painful but also incredibly mature realization that someone can genuinely want you to be happy, can wish you well, but just not want to be in your life anymore. It's the ultimate paradox of this unchained love. So, in the end, this whole journey leaves us with this one big thought to chew on. After going through all the beauty, the pain, the rage, and then this quiet acceptance, we're left questioning the very nature of love and loss. What do we actually gain from a love that ends in heartbreak? And what do we choose to carry with us when it's all said and done?